Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Give me a sec. Okay. Switched over to the other microphone. So today it's a midweek Magic and we have Chromatic Star Standard, which I actually misunderstood this one. Basically, it's just at this is just basically at the beginning of your upkeep one time. When it says this ability triggers only once, it really means it. You will just you'll start Standard with the Chromatic Star. I did make a misunderstanding about it, but even then, it did inspire me to go with this deck. So pretty much we all know about the weapons manufacturing deck. I usually combine it with Biotech Specialist. I added the little white just to have another way of being able to give the munitions away to sacrifice. Alternately, if I don't do that, the other way would be to add tough cookies so that I can turn the munitions into creatures. That said, Legion Extruder can also do that. I just did not want to invest more mythic wildcards, though you probably should. This is a pretty good drop there. That said, the plan is pretty much drop as many artifacts, have ways to sacrifice them for extra incidental value. We are pretty much ramping up quite a bit. We have Melded Moxite as way for drawing cards. A single copy of Demand Answers as an incidental way of sacrifice. Unfortunately, most of the bargain cards are really expensive. Thankfully, Torch the Tower is really cheap. And if we do enough sacrifice, we can benefit from Plasma Bolt as well, so there's that benefit. We added a few Heaped Harvest. This one helps fix our mana issues, and it's an artifact that we can... And we can get to search for lands twice, I guess. So we get that benefit. We're also using this to test out Chandra Spark Hunter. Basically a plus 2 to for sacrifice an artifact. So there you go, and we get to draw a card as a result. That's pretty neat. If we manage to get it all the way to the ultimate, then we go really bonkers there. It's a little bit vulnerable. We have really just one convenient way of sacrificing artifacts. Is the Slagdrill Scrapper. The alternative would have been for me to make this to add black to this, but the mana base is not quite helpful. Like it's the disadvantage of only having half of our half of the shock lands available. I'd wish we had all 10. Or at least we had the allied colored ones first, that it would have been more predictable to build. That said, this is a pretty decent start. We can actually just go... I might actually hold on this first. I'd probably just play the weapons manufacturing first, so that next turn we can just drop the Gene Pollinator and get an initial shot at it. Melded Moxite also kind of helps. Opponent going for Bill, so it might take us. Yeah, we kind of need a few other ways of generating this. Yeah, the least we could do is draw a card. I probably should have set it to red. Okay, but now depending on how our opponent decides to stack their... get this one up. Loot. Okay, loot's fine. Another land, sets it to 4/4. They might have a way to protect it. So we'll find out soon enough. Also pretty much works as a decent mana rock. So we'll see if our opponent has a way to protect it. Okay, they're tracking it to draw a card. They might have a way to protect it. It would be annoying if they did. No, they did not. Okay, so... And now we have an extra 3/3. Turn. Tatiova. Yeah, basic landfall. Between the Spark Hunter and this one, yeah, we should be able to take it out. Oh, actually... Options now. Okay, we'll have to do a sanity check here. Okay, wait. Sacrifice this. Going after loot. Oh yeah, we're kind of short on one. Okay, so I goofed up on that.
Rev 'em up.
And this is at the beginning of combat, so
Kick it into high gear.
the opponent's just gonna take. This, yeah, kind of goofed on that one. We need to drop more artifacts. This only triggers on non-tokens, so you're not gonna get a constant repeat of this. And we might be at the point where we need to start taking care of our opponent's life total. So Tatiova has to go. Anwar Elves is fine. Also note that we can always just tap the weapons manufacturing itself. Maybe our opponent's on with you. Annoying, but not the worst. Ooh, what did they discard? Oh, they discarded Opal. Okay. Okay, I might... No, I don't want to discard Torch, unfortunately. They might have a way to protect it. 3 steps ahead just to counter. Okay, well, at least we're using up all the control elements. And so I probably don't want to play this. I want to just create another one. And...
My team's got me covered.
Yeah, it's nice having a cheap speed cost.
Only direction I know is forward.
And yeah, I don't think our opponent can afford to take. They're gonna have to do a bunch of this. And I'm fine with that. And this one is not sorcery speed limited, so we can pass. But there goes our opponent's life gain. The opponent is trying to see if they can hit something really nice. 8 mana. Warden. Llanowar Elves. It might be a bit hard to kill this one. But I think we... And there, only concedes. Looks at. Yeah, we'll probably have been able, between just some crewing vehicles and some sacrificing stuff, we would be able to sequence it. There we go. That's actually a very solid one. And that's the gist of the deck. Though I'll be honest, it's my first time testing the Chandra Spark Hunter. You might want more of the Legion Extruders instead. Alternate case is that I tried making a blue-red version of this, but I could. It would have been focused mostly in the card draw, but it's a good thing I did not, because I did not. At the time, I thought that you got a Chromatic Star each turn. I thought it was really broken. Turns out, not too broken. It was just a little bit more consistent. So this one. Hornet's definitely in the life gain, which might be an issue for us. Depending on what our opponent drops, we might have to just... We're definitely plasma bolting this. We're not. I wish I had more remove. We had like 7 more pieces of remove. Yeah, but we might be in a bit of trouble if we can't get the setup right. Next turn, we're just dropping... Okay, no. Never mind. We got the weapons manufacturing. So it's a question if our... Now, our opponent could, like, say, have a seam rip, get... Opponent's just cashing it in. Fine, I guess. The problem is if our opponent drops an essence chant. Well, there we go. There's our essence channel. So we'll see if we can hit one of our other. Oh, another weapons manufacturing. But with no good way to sacrifice it, that's a problem. We might have to play this first. We will pitch our other weapons manufacturing. Okay. Did not quite hit. So the problem is when we start whiffing. We now need our sacrifice outlet here. Also, we need to start taking our opponent down, so we will have to drop oh, we're gonna. So obviously we want to take out the healer's hawk soon because that's their source of life gain. Oh, there's a slag drill scabber, just a bit late. Now, probably just gonna crack this one, grab another land. Also, take our opponent down, so unless they have another way of gaining life. At least this doesn't go live quite right away. Opponent does have a get lost. And we sadly may have... Yeah, unfortunately, we did not have the right removal here. We're not going to be able to take any of these out in time, so just a bit unfortunate. We used the removal of the Ruined Lurker Bat. Yeah, we just needed another piece of removal. Yeah, we just didn't happen to hit it. It's okay. So maybe an argument for more removal. It's 1 out of 6. Considering a 60 card deck, we had a few Melded Moxites to help draw into further answers. The other possibility is to lean it more towards red-white and splash green, so we can get, like, say, seam ribs and some of the cheap white removal spells, because a lot of it's dependent on combat. Well, this one we're definitely keeping. I don't mind leading on Fabled Passage turn 1. Turn 2, probably Specialist. Let's see what our opponent does here. Opponent goes in Starting Town. I actually haven't bothered to put Starting Towns yet. Opponent just going for the card draw. They probably have something to play for. No, they're just cycling it. So no weapons manufacturing this time. Opponent goes Prophetic Prism. Okay, fair. Also remember this has a tap symbol, so I can't exactly double dip on the Chromatic Star this way. Let's see, does our opponent raid it? Net? Okay, so this might be artifact centric. Nice. Yeah, if our opponent's gonna just start tapping that, I'm just gonna start paying it off. Now we could just Plasma Bolt. I think I would rather just play another Gene Pollinator here. Now hold back. I suspect our opponent has to play a creature of some sort. United. Okay, let's see if they hit their... Also, 1, 2... Okay, that's fine. We don't exactly have artifact removal, unfortunately. Now, our opponent is... They could repurposing Bay for this. That's fine. Now, I suspect our opponent might be holding on to more of this, so yeah, now we need to actually hit more artifacts to draw. Another United Battlefront. Okay, this time we're gonna see... Oh, just more repurposing base. They're missing on the key part, and they're not even sacrificing it like this. These are sorcery activation. Unfortunately, this is non-token, so this doesn't help. Might as well create one. Then see opponent.
We can go even faster.
Okay, just swing with this. Yeah, you have to remember this is sorcery speed, so no surprising people with this. We are also very vulnerable to Pinnacle, so that is another concern. If we're seeing a lot of artifact, okay, here comes the synthesizer. So we have to remember this is sorcery speed, so not gonna quite count. So they're going for the weapons manufacturing, which makes sense. They could crack one more. Saw Blades is my guess, so that they can take out one of the Gene Pollinators. Last casting it. Might as well. Yeah, we just really got flooded here. Yeah, we probably could use some artifact removal here. Ooh, trying to tap this down so I can't activate it. Okay. But that's the last charge counter. And got ourselves another whip.
Keep up the pace.
And we can already see possibilities of our opponent sacking these to get more of these. Actually, Pinnacle is probably going to be the worst one for us. Yeah, actually, that's enough. Well, double Unite the Battlefront into this. So having artifact removal is going to be an option. So the thing is that you don't know if it's going to be relevant or not. Like, I would add the Troublemaker Oofs here as a way to be able to answer that deck. If I see another one, then yeah, I'll start slotting it in. It gives me another bargain. Gives me another way to bargain. I can probably cut some of the other cards, I guess. Oh yeah, I haven't used it. Ooh boy. Well, not exactly voiding anything. Not exactly getting anything back for that matter. Pollinator turn 1. Let's see if our opponent has a response. Final event. That's a bit excessive. So next turn we could probably just meld it. Ah yeah, we might have to sack this one for red. I'm going for the Unholy Annex. Okay. So there's our Legion Extruder. It's gonna have to wait a bit. We definitely want more red, so we're going to have to sack this now. Grab our mountain. Now I could cast one of these, but I can foresee a possibility where we might have to do both. Also have to save this Legion Extruder for that. Nowhere to run. Okay, so we lose the Specialist. So we'll have to find another plan there. So first we cast Mildred Oxide. What do we drop though? I think we... I don't want to drop... I think we just dropped the Ragos. Oh, got more Plasma Bolts. We can just use this to pop any target, that helps. And this one can... Yeah, definitely remember to hold on to this so that we can activate Void here. Because I suspect our opponent is gonna go for a big demon. This would also be, but okay, but they're going for this big one first. Nice week also. Oh, and there's our weapons manufacturing, so... So that will have to wait a bit, because we still have to take this out. Yeah, we'll pay 3 life. Ooh, we're just flooded with Plasma Bolts here. I could cave it. What's this trigger? Okay, blood gas is fine. They probably won't pay for it. Sure. I guess there's an argument for using its main ability so I can then just hold on to Legion Extruder. Also, we both have too much life for haste to be active. I'll probably just take 4. Man, we're... Okay, so Spark Hunter... Yeah, we're still missing our creep. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that we haven't been hitting these. Wow, we just used up all our Plasma Bolts. Now they can pay return with a finality counter, but then yeah, that's it. Can't really do anything about that one afterwards. And the opponent has the gall to call it boring. Says the guy that's just playing mono black demons. Says the guy that plays mono black demons. Stop calling the kettle black. So after that first one, yeah, you can see the issue is that we kind of need to have everything in order. You want to have the weapons manufacturing right away. Then you want to be able to start dropping enough artifacts to have a slew of payoffs. Nice thing is that it's a leaves the battlefield trigger for. I guess there's also the option to. Because you have to remember, we have the option to. this one. Start with the Gene Pollinator that sets up our mana. And next turn we can go... Let's say we just go wrap. Let's see what our opponent has. Burn Spell would be annoying but expected. Yep. They didn't sacrifice this. Knowing that is what's in store. I'm gonna drop these two. Unfortunately, yeah, it's not lining up for us right now. It also has a very slow start. Oh, there's a melted Mopsite. I probably should have. So we'll bin one land, but we probably should have played. We should have probably played another land first. Yeah, especially if we're just gonna keep getting our drops. I don't mind swinging for... I kind of wish they had the creature so that if we had to torch, it's torch. Yeah, we might have... Ursa, that's an issue. Now that is how you use a Chromatic Star. We got ourselves a Fabled Passage, so at least we're not bleeding too much now. I'm also going to hold on to the demand answers for the time being. I can definitely play Ragdos. So I have multiple options here. I can just sack them. Well, can't sack the mock site like this. Well, technically I can just to gain life, but you kind of want to use it for the activate ability. I could demand answer sacrifice this. So all of these being foods I can sacrifice are a deal in itself. And in this case, I might just discard the land. Plasma Bolt's good. Yeah, swimming in lands again. Yeah, still missing our other key cards. Thankfully, our opponent's a little bit stuck on mana. Draw. Yeah, expected. Well, unfortunately, this is not a creature. Now, do I want to sacrifice it to gain life? That doesn't really do anything. Opponent probably should sack this one if they want. If you're really searching for mana. Now, I could have also done it to one of these, but I am just making the assumption that aggro going, and I might convert one of these scrappers into another 3-2. Ooh. There's your BB. I don't mind the return actually if it comes to that. they already activated, so if they're gonna swing, that's fine. So 3, 6, 7. So I need one more. Now I know this is expensive enough that. Thankfully, our opponent kind of got a little bit stuck, but they have like 5 mana up. This does only gives haste, doesn't give trample, so there's that. Enigma Drake, sure. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, not quite what you're hoping for. Ooh, there's manufacturing. A little bit late to the party. But I wanted to know that. Yeah, Plasma Bolt for the win. We actually survived the VV deck. Well, to be fair, our opponent just jammed the VV into what I believe is the starter deck, so not the best represent. Well, if anything, the VV kept our opponent alive for the most part, so that's how scary the thing is. So I'm actually gonna be on standby today or tomorrow to see what the status of a VV is gonna be. Let's get a few more games in, and then we can call this a night. Okay, Scrapper on 1. Yeah, definitely keeping this. So there's still a plan even if we don't assemble the combo, so to speak. Yeah, nothing says no. So next turn I could just play Ragos, Interloper. I could have played Ragos and just but oh well, we'll just do that later. Also, I had to do that now because I'll hold on to this. I have a bad feeling about this. Nope, I don't have a bad feeling about this. Yeah, just get one hit in. We'll just do we'll just probably demand answers. Pitch the Sacred Foundry. I guess I could also sacrifice. The Chromatic Star, net us another draw. We don't need the. Okay, there we go. Now we're talking. Weapons manufacturing. Scrapper. And we can torch the tower. this. And never mind. Only conceded. We got the we got the combo of sorts. We probably were going to be in trouble if we didn't draw anymore. So we would have been churning through our. We probably would have been churning through our lands like crazy if we got to that. Also, haven't been exactly landing the food heaps there. Okay. We have removal, but we don't have much of anything else, so this is super scary. Into another life index, so we have 2 pieces of removal to buy time. I guess we land mountain first. No, you don't. You're a biotech specialist. So next turn we have the option of, okay, like our opponent is semi-stuck. Okay, we got a Ragnos, but we also are hitting a lot of lands. Now, we could just sacrifice this Patchwork Banner, makes it a little bit harder to kill stuff. We're gonna really be relying on... Also might want to hold on to a Fabled Passage, because that's a free way to... And so this is 2 to gain 3 life. This only makes a 2/2 robot, so Legion Extruder is always better. Opponent playing white-red, so they have a little bit more than just pure life gain. Probably some Lightning Helixes. Yeah, let's just search for basic land. Four, 6. Oh wait, did I... Oh, it has to be non-land. Okay. I goofed up. Yeah, might as well do this, but it's yeah, that was a bit shameful. if you're so used to revolt, it's hard to wrap around your head that you need. So now I actually have to pop this to deny the 3 creatures. But we are taking 9. Or not. We're definitely taking 5 at least. And so we might as well sack this. But yeah, we're missing so many pieces to make this work. Like, I could play this. And actually, does our opponent have a way to gain life? They need to attack with 5 or more creatures. So maybe we have a shot. We would need a lot more artifacts. So that's also a reason to hold on to this land. We basically need to... We need a mock site for sure. Also helps our opponent stop attacking us. So we might as well activate this now. So that's basically 5 damage for each cycle. Weapons manufacturing. So we'll see if we can hit the 1 artifact to make it worth. Templar of Light. Okay, they're taking us down to 1. They could have a burn spell. And no, we had to duplicate. So yep. We did not hit it. We needed to hit 1 artifact. Yeah, we needed to hit 1 artifact to make the token to be able to deal enough damage. We were quite close. We were quite close. We just needed a good draw, and we did not get that draw. Well, we made also the mistake. If we were gonna keep that thing alive, we were better off just holding the plasma bolt and aim it at face. We would have had enough. Yeah, mistakes happen. Speaking of which, yeah, I guess we keep this one. Slag deals Scrapper. So we're trying to hit our 3rd land. So we could demand answers, sacrifice the Chromatic Star. So demand answers could be better. I just needed to have a density of artifacts. It would have been quite interesting if we had the way to make our stuff artifacts, but that's neither here nor there. We almost had it. Yeah, I'm a little bit flummoxed by that last one. So definitely want to hit weapons manufacturing. Now I could just sack this to draw the card, but I think it's better to just use it on demand answers. That should net us more cards in the long term. Then I could just Sacred Foundry, Heat Harvest, and hold that for sacrifice later. Or I could just sacrifice this. So now here's an interesting part. So can now play the Biotech Specialist. And we do the sacrifice there, so we get our benefit, get our card points like that. Maybe we got maybe getting one Chandra too many. One is gonna just share it. I wouldn't mind trading. So next turn I could just play Sacred Foundry, Heat Harvest, then I can do shot. Yeah, we're drawing way too many lands. Well, it used up quite a good amount of the removal, but yes, thin out the basics as much as we can. So what are we looking? Opponent? Yeah, opponent. If our opponent has no use for this, they might as well just sack this now. In fact, that's what they're doing. Vampire Nighthawk. Jason. So another Hull Carver. So
Shift gears.
I can actually just choose to discard the card instead of sacrificing an artifact. Those. Yeah, I want to discard the card instead here. So there's the Ragos, but we want to select the Hull Carver first.
Can't give up.
It's actually an argument.
Here.
That's a good complaint, if any.
No time to think. Just drive.
Okay, there's our torch. Ragos. So if our opponent wants to kill Ragos, I'm quite fine with it. That's one. Though it looks like our yep, looks like it's been all, well, unfortunately not. So our opponent might be okay. Opponent might have to be a bit distracted. Okay, that one might be annoying. Now we're searching for basic land. Yeah, let's start out.
I can't slow down. All right, team. New plan.
Hmm.
Keep up the pace.
So what we can do is we can just see how our opponent decides to go for this. We definitely want to hit more removal. Also holding this up, so if our opponent has a kill spell, we can just substitute it. Also, opponent not exact. Opponent just went all death touch, but they are not exactly having ways to gain life, so Light Priest not quite doing it. In fact, it looks like, well, it's not really that over for our opponent. I would still need to hit stuff like, say, weapons manufacturing, etc., etc. Also, yeah, I would, with this one, I would most likely just make a vehicle with this, then replay the other Spark Hunter next turn. I am going to block for sure. Basically, I want to clear out as much of our opponent's board. Considering our opponent doesn't exactly have ways to draw cards, well, they do have one way to draw cards. I don't think they're gonna activate it.
Hands off the bike.
Now, what I might do is I might just wait to see if our opponent tries to snipe Chandra so that I don't get the activation. There is a timing for it. So if they do that, that's fine.
My team's got me covered.
Let's see if they have it. Because they clearly have it.
Push it to the limit.
You also need to check how many base. Okay, not that many basics discarded. So I should be able to play Fable. I should be able to play Fable Passage, crack this, find another, get another basic out of the pile. Replay Chandra, then pitch the mountain. So here's hoping they did not actually sandbag a removal spell. Now I could have just created another vehicle. But I really need to. And also always keep 2 mana up because on first chance our opponent.
Gears.
There you go, hit our weapons manufacturing at last. So exactly getting anything back, so that's... Though this is admittedly a big issue. We would need to... Let's take that, get care of that.
You're gonna get burned!
So I could sacrifice this for a creature, but I think what I want to do is I'd sacrifice a card.
No time to think. Just drive.
Yeah, unfortunately we hit the land.
Just try to keep up.
Ah, wow, we hit so many lands, it's not funny. Go down to 1. Also, we have to snipe the Ahriman first, or else our opponent just converts it. Wow! Wow, we really just hit nothing but lands, eh?
Trash to triumph!
Plasma Bolt. Unfortunately, I have nothing to sacrifice here. But it still snipes the Ahriman, so I have to do it. Unfortunately, we'll now need to... Yeah, that... So that might have been the one argument for... Thankfully...
Lost?
Oh, come on, really? How many? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 16. We got like about 8 lands left. Okay, so that's... So we still have a problem. Moxide is a good one. Pollinator is also a good one. So we hold on to the land because so what we want to do now is basically we're relying on this Legion Extruder a lot. If we can hit one of our void spells, that would help us a lot also. I probably just convert this into a creature, I guess. Another Pollinator is nice. So 3, 6, 7. And so we'll see if our opponent has a way out. A Nighthawk would be annoying. Opponent's probably forced to hold on to their Death Gorger now. And I suspect this was a last minute draw. Yeah, the extra creature was more worth it at the time. They spent so much time on Chandra. We went through quite a lot of our deck. We're kind of like 12 cards deeper than our opponent. Yeah, I do suspect that you might want to have at least 1 or 2 copies of the oof so that you could have some answer to artifacts and enchantments. Though we did not have a real answer to United Battlefront, that one's just super annoying. Okay, looks like our opponent just left. Yeah, you really have to plan your deck around a bit here. Having that one, uh, having that one free shot with the Chromatic Star really helped a lot. Between the early demand answers, well, also pretty much ate this one, and pretty much early fuel for the biotech. That was pretty good. And there we go. I think that's gonna be it. Hello? Hello? Sensei, nan u intro lang hige kwepa baka na gunet siya bitaw na lang. Kwadi be si Shamia. Oh, sige. Okay. Okay. Oh, sige, sige. Okay. And yeah, it looks like our opponent just split. Not quite, not quite a seasoned opponent. Though to be fair, in mobile there have been a lot of issues in connection. Like depending on where you are, you could have really bad problems with connection. So it's not fair to just say that oh they just quit off the face of the earth. It could just be now could be a lot of connection issues. I've been experiencing quite a bit of those. It's not really the fault of Wizards' part. It's just the nature of the architecture. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications, and whatnot. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone.